hit okay.
All right.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi, Nicole.
Yeah, so this is great. I love this setup with the interviewing and answering some questions. And this is great because I'll get to know even more in depth of how you think and work and filter the things that you offer women. And I have been really curious to ask you about, as women and we go through changes, hormonal changes, and all kinds of changes that we go through. Like I'm often like, I used to eat all the time and now it doesn't feel so good when I eat the same things. Like my body's changing. And I'm just curious to know, like, what are the biggest shifts that you see women get from changing their diet and you honing in on what would be the best nutrition for them? And talk a little bit about maybe like the perimenopause, menopause time and what you're seeing women need to feel in balance.
Yeah, it is. I hear a lot of women saying, like, I don't know what to eat anymore. And there is a big shift that happens where we have this whole lifestyle and personality and um, preferences built on kind of who we were up until this point, and then that changes for a lot of us. So how we eat and how we move needs to change. And I think what's hard too for those of us that are moms is we're needing to eat a certain way, and that's not always aligned with how our family needs to eat. So there's a part of just getting clear on what do I need, and then there's a second part of how do I fuse my needs with the needs of the people I'm taking care of. Uh, and yeah, um should I talk about like what I see women needing or more what I see when they get what they're needing?
I think seeing what they get when they get what they need would be
Mhm.
cool.
Well, I think one thing that happens when you start eating how you're supposed to at this stage of life, and supposed to, I say kind of lightly because it's everyone has different needs. So a lot of what we do is get to figure out what it is your body's wanting. What are the messages your body's sending through symptoms and what do they mean and how do we interpret them? And then once we figure that out, I think um, there is like a lot of emotional drag goes away of kind of the doubt of like after you ate something not feeling so great and kind of like you're moving on with your life, but there's like a part of you somewhere that's like, it didn't quite feel right, but I don't have the time to
Oh,
understand
yes.
why. Yeah, so that's like there's some emotional drag there that, when you're eating several meals a day, like it adds up. So there's just clarity and a lightness that comes with just the feeling you get in your body of like that felt good. That felt right. I feel energized. My body feels happy with it. It feels clean. It's not taking up a lot of my body's energy to process. So um, that feels great. And I I think there's just an empowering piece too of knowing we're doing right by our bodies, these
Yeah.
vessels that mean so much. So yeah, there is a big emotional component, I think, to kind of understanding.
Yeah, and boy, do we need that biological energy as moms or just being in the world. Like, being dragged down because you ate a gluten sandwich or something is
Yes.
it's not great.
Right. Yeah. And I think, I mean, I remember being young and seeing my mom's friends like thinking, oh, it's so boring how they want to eat. Like they're no fun. And now I understand. Oh, I the thing that matters the most now is feeling good.
Yeah.
It matters more than the momentary enjoyment of what's passing through my lips and over my taste buds. And I want things to taste good too, but it matters to me how I feel
But I
afterwards.
have to say, being on your program, like I'm enjoying all my meals just as much as I used to. Like it feels not only feels good, but it just tastes great. So I don't feel like, I feel like that piece was kind of missing as I was trying to tinker myself with changing my diet. But yeah, having you and knowing and what fits with my body and making it delicious, that's amazing.
Yeah, and that's important to me because I came to this work through working in food. I was a chef for 20 years, and I really came to food because I love bringing people together and I love feeding people and I love and when food is delicious, there's some alchemy that happens in a room, and that was really my first passion. And so it's important to me that we feed both parts of us, the part of us that um, wants enjoyment and pleasure, and the part of us that wants to feel good. But that we're not leaving either one of those parts behind. And I know sometimes nutrition can be, it can feel prescriptive, or it can feel like your options are shrinking, or that you have to forego enjoyment in order to feel good. And I think one thing that's interesting that you might be experiencing is like as your body starts feeling better, you just enjoy food more
Yeah,
naturally.
I have less cravings and to for things that probably aren't good for me that make me feel tired or upset stomach or whatnot.
Do you notice those changing as you change how you eat? Do you feel less cravings, or are they still?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm feeling. I'm feeling less cravings.
Hmm.
I used to
Yeah.
crave a lot of sugar, carbs, like, the complex carbs, the chips and the breads and the, crackers and the, anything that was easy, fast, and tasty. I'm like not craving those.
Mm. Yeah, there's this saying I love it. It goes, feed your microbiome and your taste buds will follow. And we
Oh,
tend to feed our taste buds.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, the body will follow if you take the lead. So,
Yeah.
um, was there another element? Did that answer your
Yeah,
question?
that's great. I mean, it sounds like the shifting is when you're really taking in somebody and their work, that what they're eating and their bodies, and you are creating the meal plans for them and all the foods that can kind of change how they feel when after they eat, and how that just will like kind of momentum wave into them wanting to eat better and feeling better too, because it's not only delicious, but it's also reducing the cravings for the stuff that is not good for you.
Yeah, totally. It's amazing how um, before you start, it feels like a list of shoulds. That's just one more thing to do on your list of a million things to do.
Yeah.
But when you start to have get some positive feedback,
Mhm.
it's energizing. So
Yeah.
there's momentum there, and there's like an openness to change and a willingness to change that's really beautiful. I love working with women in this space because usually they come to me at a point of feeling bad, and that's actually a really good place to be because that's the place from which change happens.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's lovely to watch what's possible when you kind of accept defeat on some level, or accept like I need support outside of
Yeah.
what's available.
Yeah. And how important food is in your whole life and being and energy and state of being, because you can handle so much more when you have the energy for that. So,
Yeah, yeah, and I think maybe I'll just end with one thought, which is um, the our bodies, what we need biologically to be well and fed in general is at odds with what we're being offered in the world and what modern life and industrialized agriculture has made readily available. And culturally too, we're kind of misled um, with the best intentions. But there's a reason I think we're all have some level of confusion. I certainly did before I found my work in nutrition. Is like I don't know what to eat because everything you're being offered is very they're not the things we need in great quantity. The
yeah.
things we need in great quantities are are harder to come by uh,
Yes, it's true.
without knowledge. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
totally, it's great to hear you talk about that and
Mm.
to also be on your program and experiencing it at the same time.
Uh,
It's so different and I'm really enjoying it.
oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit okay.